Good morning to one and all. This is the second chapter, first topic, dewatering. In the first chapter itself, we discussed about different ground densification methods. In these ground densification methods, we are having both two types of soils. First one is granular soils, second one is cohesive soils. In those two types of soils, we observe a different kinds of densification methods to strengthen the particular parameters like soil bearing capacity, shear capacity, cohesive properties, liquid limits, and others. Likely, in the second chapter itself, we are having these dewatering techniques. That means the soil properties will changes entirely due to the entrainment of this water. Already in the first chapter, last parts like stone columns and other things we have observed like sand drains and sand wicks. Those are also some of the methods to remove this water whichever present in the particular soils to improve the property and to strengthen the particular soil. The second chapter is entirely based on these dewatering techniques. What is dewatering? Dewatering means removal of whatever the water which was exist on the particular above the ground level and below the ground level. That means in some of the cases due to heavy amount of water occurring on a particular soil, that means due to catchment heavy catchment area of the particular soils, we have both above the ground level and below the ground level we have a quantity of water. We need to remove those quantity of water by using different dewatering techniques to strengthen the properties of the soil. First of all, what are the outline of the presentation? That means in the dewatering technique we are having an introduction about these dewatering techniques. Next one, applications. In which fields this dewatering technique was useful. That means in which areas, and that means not related to particular places. That means these dewatering techniques are mainly useful to which type of soils and which regions. That means region means particularly we are having a different regions according to plateaus and other things. All those comes under these regions. Next one, design. What are the design principles of this particular dewatering techniques? And next one, how we have to design, what are the parameters involved in the design philosophy? Next one is the examples. That means in some of the cases we employed these dewatering techniques for a particular period of the time, so that why those places are employed in a particular dewatering techniques. What are the advantages after the getting of these dewatering techniques? All those things are lie in the particular presentation. Next one, we need to go to introduction. What is the purpose of dewatering? That means for construction, excavation of permanent structures that are below the water table and not waterproof or waterproof, but are designed to resist the hydrostatic pressure. The total first point is responsible for hydrostatic pressure. That means whenever there is a water on a particular soil itself, there will be some amount of hydrostatic pressure which was acts on a particular structure, so that the total structure has to bear this pressure. Pressure means load by particular area in terms of these stresses and other also acting on the structure due to those hydrostatic pressure and entrainment of these different stresses due to these hydrological forces. The total structure has to bear some amount of additional amount of stresses compared to normal design loads, so that the total structure will have to face extra loads from the ground level also. That means normally we are observing in the design purpose like DRCS and steel, we are giving loads from the top of the structure like dead load, live load, wind load, and earthquake loads and other different kinds of load we are designing. But in case of this hydrostatic force, it is applied from the bottom of the structure. That means below the ground level or sometimes beside the ground level. So that we need to have to remove this hydrostatic pressure by using these different dewatering techniques. First one is the permanent dewatering systems are less commonly used than the temporary construction dewatering systems. That means permanent dewatering system means in the particular place of area, we need to remove the total amount of water whichever is present on a particular area by different techniques. In some of the cases, the soil in the soil itself we are having particular amount of water up to a depth, so that we need to remove the total water whichever is present on the particular soil. After that, we need to construct a different kinds of structures which are lies periphery to the structure to control the entrainment of water. That means normally we are using these fencing walls and others to control the entrainment of other people, like similarly other animals or any dogs. Likely we are having a particular fencing structure to the fields and other structures. Likely we need to use these fencing structures below the ground level to restrict the entrainment of the water. Next one is, it is used the temporary construction for the dewatering techniques. That means we are having both temporary structures and permanent structures. Those are used to control the entrainment of water in a particular fields. This is the purpose of dewatering techniques. This is the purpose of dewatering. Next one we are having, what are the common dewatering methods? That means mostly useful methods in the fields. What are those? First one is the sumps, trenches and pumps. Means sumps and pumps, those are bothly related terms. Next we are having trenches. That means normally we are having fences and others. Likely trenches are there. These trenches are arranged nearer around the periphery of the structure. Next one, well points. That means normally we are having wells. Likely we have to driven these well points in a particular fields at a particular intervals or any other. Next one, we are having these deep wells and submersible pumps. Normally these submersible pumps are we are using we are listening these words in the advertisements like Kumar pumps and others. We are having submersible pumps, like these words are we are using. So but these words are all related to these particularly dewatering systems to draw the water from particular depths. First classification we are having is the sumps, trenches and pumps. That means what is the sump, trench and pumps, how we need to utilize those in a particular field. First one, handle minor amount of water inflow. These are useful to carry a particular quantity. That means minor amount. If it is a major one, that means the project is having huge amount of importance. If it is a minor one, means less importance projects. We are using these sumps, trenches and pumps to remove the water. Next one, the height of groundwater above the excavation bottom is relatively small, 5 feet or less. That means height of groundwater above the excavation bottom is relatively small or less. Whenever we are going to use these techniques, first of all we need to have the data of available groundwater level in the particular area. That means already previously we are having some amount of introduction on groundwater. What is the groundwater, in which fields we are having huge amount. Likely normally this groundwater is the flow of water in from particular huge amount of area to low lying areas. Normally this is the all earth we are having. In those earths also we are having different layers and layers. Okay, this is the center part of the earth. This is the top surface, core, mantle, crust. Likely we are having, those are the major components in the earth level. In the crust level also, core, mantle, crust. In the crust level we are having, above the crust level we are normally living, but below the crust level we are having some amount of these layers. In those layers we are having this water is flowing. That means the layer there is some amount of folds and falls Normally you observed these two terms in engineering geology. These folds and falls are some of the parts in the earth layers. Due to these folds and falls we are having in the below the earth layers, there is some amount of gap in between these folds and falls. The gap is filled by this water whichever is flowing on the surface due to gravitational forces. So that in the gravitational forces we are having so that due to the gravitational forces the water will be absorbed by the voids which are present in the particularly layers. After that we are having a strong layer, that means a hard rock strata we are having. Up to that hard rock strata we are having a particular quantity of voids. Those voids are filled by this groundwater due to these gravitational forces. Okay, these gravitational forces are likely influenced by the water, so that all the water will be coming downwards due to this gravitational force, and they have to place on a particular level where there is a hard rock strata. After that there is no penetration due to this hard rock strata is available, because this rock strata having no pores, that means no voids or no pores in the particular hard rock strata, so that the total water will be stacked on the particular rock strata and flowing wherever there is a steepness. That means మనకి వాలు అంటారు, ఆ వాల్ ఎలా ఉంటుందో మనకి ఆ వాలు ప్రకారం గ్రౌండ్ వాటర్ మొత్తం కూడా ఫ్లో అవుతూ ఉంటుంది. ఇఫ్ దెర్ ఈజ్ నో స్టీప్నెస్ ఆటోమేటికల్లీ the groundwater level will be increases. If there is a steepness, automatically groundwater flow from one area to another area. So that we need to have these groundwater distribution levels by using different equipments we are having, like sonometers and others. By using these sonometers we will pump some amount of waves into the ground level, so that we need to have this data up to which depth we are having this water level likely. By using this data we need to have this excavation of groundwater above the or bottom related with the particular field. Next one, surrounding soil is relatively impermeable. That means impermeable. What is permeable? The soil which is having voids, so that the voids are having a capacity of absorbing water or any other air, so that those are permeable layer. Impermeable means there is no quantity of voids, so that the total water doesn't allow this water or any other matter into the structure due to this impermeable properties. Likely normally daily we are using different kinds of raincoats and others. Whenever we are having a rain in a particular seasons, we are using these raincoats and umbrellas, because those are impermeable. Those doesn't allow water into the particular structures, so that they are useful as a water bearings, not water impermeable layers. Likely we are having some amount of layers in the earth itself, those are impermeable, those doesn't allow water into them. Likely we need to have those kind of data, geological data, particularly in different places before we need to go to these types of constructions. If we don't have this data, simply we are using all these methods, means we are wasting a huge amount of money on the particular project itself. So that before going to do any work, we need to have some amount of preliminary data to assess a particular project. What is the total cost of the project, how much amount of money we are having, how much amount of money we are spending. All those things we need to know. Those definitely will have an effect on the particular project itself. Next one we are having is the wet excavations. Wet excavation, that means wet means normally a particular quantity of water is available while we are doing these excavations, wet excavations. Sump pumps are frequently used to remove the surface water and a small infiltration of groundwater. That means these sump pumps are used in these particular wet excavations. That means whenever there is a huge amount of water on the structure, be above the ground level and below the ground level, we need to use these sump pumps are normally used to remove the particular water surface and infiltration of groundwater. Sumps are connecting interceptor ditches which are located on the outside of the footing. At the area just below the bottom of the footing, some of the groundwater is allowed to disturb the foundation bearing surface. What is bearing? That means normally this bearing term is we are observed in the particular mechanical equipments and others. That means bearing is a automatically there is a free movement of the particular wheel or any other. Likely in our technical knowledge we are having this bearing capacity in the to the particular soil. Why? Because we are using that bearing means the total amount of load will be bared by a particular quantity of the structures due to their properties and other structural parameters. If the bearing is very high, that means the total soil has too much of capacity to bear those loads coming from the structure. If the bearing is very low, that means automatically the structure will be having a sinking properties. That means whenever we are having a marshy soil, that means marshy soils are, we are observing in villages, whenever there is a rain, automatically when we are walking on this particular soils, simply our foot will penetrate into the soil due to the and due to the water is having excessive in the particular soil, so that those are called as marshy soils. In those marshy soils, whenever we have to go for constructions, we need to have some amount of precautionary measure, otherwise the total structure will sinks downwards. In granular soils, it is important that fine particles no be carried away by the pumping, so that sumps may be lined in a filter material or to prevent the minimize the loss of fines. That means fines means a particular particles which are having less quantity of the size, those are called as fine particles. Whenever we are removing the particular quantity of the water from a field itself, so that certain amount of fine matter is associated with the water, so that the water will be carrying those fines also. Automatically, if we are carrying the total amount of fines, means there will be less quantity of binding properties. Automatically, less quantity of binding property means total amount of soil strength will be, we are removing, so that the fines are very important to the particular structures to improve the these bonding properties and others. Normally cement is very fine material. Why? Because due to its fineness properties, we are having a too much of binding properties. If it is a very gravy particles, means there is no bonding. Likely sand particles are very large particles compared to these cements and others. Cement, not coarse aggregate, due to those large properties, they are not having particular bond between the sand particles, right? And coarse aggregates also. Whenever there is a fineness, means definitely there will be a proper bonding. Next one, dewatering of open excavation by ditch or sump. This is the pictorial representation. Whenever there is a initial water table, after that we are having lower water table by using these ditches and sumps. That means here we are having sump pump is located in a particular place. The sump pump is removing the total quantity of water by simply making these ditches and sumps. That means in a particular place, it is the total initial water table. That means the total ground level will be decreased in a particular inclined position. That means inclined position means a particular angle is made from that particular ground level. We are removing the total quantity of the soil from the field. After that, we make a particular ditch, so that the total ground level whichever present in the particular field, the total will be carried into a particular point, so that the water will be, we are removing by using these sump pumps by making a smaller ditch and smaller sump means normally we are using this canal, the small irrigation projects. We are having these sump like structures to catch the particular quantity of water in particularly rainy seasons. Normally in different places we are not having these water flowing capacities to the particular fields itself. Likely in our Prakasam district and other district, we are having not huge amount of water structures, so that they are simply digging a particular quantity of field in the particular 10 acres or 20 acres area, so that all the water whichever is coming on rainy season, so total water will be collected on a particular field in the 20 acres. That means I will show with the diagram. This is the 20 acres land. That means normally a particular field having a length and breadth. In those particular field, that is total area is called as the catchment area. That means in the total catchment area, whenever there is a rainy seasons, we have to maintain a particular water on the particular rainy season. The total water will be simply flowing and wasting. We need to have some amount of these groundwater improvement techniques on these soils to use for their future needs and deeds, so that the total water whichever is having in the particular soil, the total will be drained into this particular sumps and others, so that water will be useful for their future purposes. If there is a huge amount of drafty areas, so that those water will be used in the particular normal crops and others. Okay, that is the main importance of carrying these sumps and others in a particular fields. This is the representation of the diagram how the sumping is done on a particular fields. Next one is the well point method. What is a well point method? How we have to use this well point method? What is the association with the particular land? Multiple closely spaced wells are connected by a pipes to be a strong pipe. That means a parallel pipes. Whenever we call it as a parallel, means the particular pipe is having, I will show with the diagram. This is the one pipe. After that we are having same pipes like level. All those lines are simply parallel lines. Why? Because there is some amount of gap between the pipes and having same length and the same width, so that all those are called as the parallel lines. Likely in our field itself, we need to use different pipes in a particular parallel way to connect those, and multiple lines of states of well points are required for the excavation of more than 5 meters below the groundwater table. That means previously we observed it is the groundwater table from the particular soil and ground level. We are having this groundwater level. We need to remove the quantity of water which are present in the particular soils, so that we have to use this well point methods and other pumps. If the groundwater level is very much nearer to the surface, we have to use these sumps and other methods to remove the groundwater. If the groundwater is very deeper, that means we need to use these bores and other. Whenever there is a available of groundwater at a farther depths, nearer depth means it is some amount of 2 feet or 5 feet, 10 feet depth. If it is farther, that means more than 20-30 feet, we need to use particularly these bore like systems. Nalgonda areas and other things, we are observing a small boreholes are constructing, and the small kids are also falling into these boreholes, and we are using a huge amount of excavation equipments to extract that particular persons. So that likely we are having to these boreholes are constructed in the particular periphery of the field by a parallel pumping systems, so that the total amount of water which are in the field that must be removed from these boreholes. This is the single point system. That means a single stage well point system to remove the water. This is the total borehole which is down into the particular soil, so that the below the point we are having well point. From that well point, the total water table is we are having. From the water table, we are removing the water by using these pipelines in a soil system. Likely we are having a different terminology here. First of all, we need to understand this terminology. The terminology is very clear to us. That means the subject will be very easy to us. If the terminology is not understanding by us, that means the subject will looks as a very tough to us. So that if we know the terminology as well as possible, we need to write the total subject in our particular manner, so that in our own language also. First of all, we are having is the original water table. That means the line showing the particular quantity of original water table from the ground level. It is the particular ground level. From the ground level, we are having this quantity of original water table. After that original water table, we are decreasing the particular quantity by simply removing the total water present on the structure. That means header pipe we are having. From the header pipe to another pipe, we are using these well points and other things. Simply we are removing the water and decreasing the groundwater content from ground level. Okay, I will show with another picture. This is the actual picture. This is simply we are using these bores to extract the water from the ground level. By using this single water bore system, we are removing the total water whichever is present on the particular soil, and removing, and we have to pour into another structure. After that, it is the arrangement of typical well point system. That means typical well point system. Normally, the above the ground level we are having pump. After that we are having groundwater, which is shown in the hatched lines. Okay, so above the hatched lines we are having total soil. Beside also we are having these riser pumps and well point systems. This type of connection of well point systems is called Johnson's well point systems. Okay, water bearing stratum is above the particular groundwater strata, and those groundwater will be carried from those pipes to the main pump, and the main pump is carrying the particular water to the another fields whichever having less quantity of the water system. What are the deep wells and submersible wells? In which places we need to implement? That means pumps are placed at the bottom of the wells, and the water is discharged through a pipe and connected to the pump and run through a particular well hole to a sustainable discharge point. These pumps are placed in the bottom of the well. That means a very deeper depth we need to extract the water. These deep wells are used, deep wells with submersible pumps, and the water is discharged through a pipe connected to the pump, run off through the well hole, the suitable discharge point. That means whatever the diameter of the pipe we are using, those diameter of the pipe will be associated with the main pipe with a particular levels. We are using larger diameter pipe with a smaller pipe, means no discharge is there. That means there is some irregularities compared to those diameters of the pipe, so that we need to use proper diameter of the pipe to remove these water contents. These are more powerful than well points, require a wider spacing with a few well holes. That means normally in the previous cases we are using single point well systems and double point well systems. In those well point systems we are using normally smaller pipes, but in case of these deep wells we have to use more powerful well points with a wider spacing and few less holes. That means with a less quantity of the diameter and hole we need to use these well point systems to remove the water used alone in the combination of well points. That means combination is less. This is the pictorial representation. That means we are having all those are US standard sieve numbers. Normally we are using Indian standard sieves. Okay, this is the diagram related to United States. Particularly used for this US Army Corps of Engineers. That means whenever there is a huge amount of storms and others, normally in foreign countries we are observing in the every year like tornadoes and storms, hurricanes they are facing. Due to those natural uncalamities, they are having a huge amount of army to rescue the people from those conditions. They are traveling in a particular fields, they are removing the total quantity of water whichever lying on the structure and others by using these military conditions. And applications of these well point systems. What is the main place of this particular applications of the systems? Applications. This is the permanent ground control system. That means in the diagram itself we are having impervious backfill and pervious backfill. Impervious means the material which doesn't allow the water into the particular structure, and after that we are having pervious backfill. Means pervious means which is having a capacity to absorb the water, so that whenever we are constructing a particular material, particular sump system, we need to use this impervious backfill on the top level of the surface. That means whenever we are constructing this impervious backfill, automatically the total water will doesn't allow into the structure, so that there is no increase of the groundwater level due to this impervious backfills. After that we are having initial water table. That means initial level of the water table. Due to those initial water table we are having this water is coming into the particular ground levels. That means simply the entrainment of water, and after that we are having drains, different drains. and particles we are having silt, sand, clay, and other thing we are having sand. By these particles we are having normally sand having a huge amount of capacity to absorb the water. After that we are having this clay. That means clay is normally restrict the quantity of water flowing into them. Why? Because of clay having a huge amount of smaller particles. That means particle size is very low compared to sand and others. And silt is very low particle size, so that it is not usable to, it is not permeable. Silt also in some cases up to a particular level. After that silt having huge amount of permeable capacity. By using this different sump system, they are using these pipes and others to absorb the water. That means we are having these directions. That means particular cross section. I will draw the diagram. This is the particular cross section. That means XX we have to denote. Particular cross section in the right hand, both sides, left hand side and right hand side, we are having these arrows showing towards the center. This is the total center. Toward the center, the water will be comes into the particular field. This is the total field. That is called as a catchment of the particular water. Those water will be removed by this mechanical system of pumping and others. Those pumps are capable to catch the water from the ground level, and they will remove the particular water on the ground itself. This is the permanent ground control system. That means groundwater control system, permanent. That means we are normally constructing a particular hole into the ground level. From the hole itself we are extracting the whatever the groundwater present on the structure. If we are continuously extracting, means at particular point there is no groundwater located on the soil itself. By taking some amount of precautionary measures to control the entrainment of the water. That means in the top layer we are having here impervious backfill. That means if there is no backfill, impervious backfill, automatically whatever the water is coming to the rains and other conditions automatically penetrates, and it will increases the groundwater level. To control this increment of groundwater level, we have to use this impermeable backfill to control the groundwater and other different conditions. This is the deep well system. Okay, how the structure is locating. Normally all those are the different structures related to sandy material. That means sandstone. Normally we are studied this sandstone in the engineering geology. Likely we are having different scales, 1 2 3, likely up to 10 we are having. The largest value is the diamond, the smallest value is the normal clay particles, fine particles. This is the sandstone bottomly we are having. We are digging a particular well. The top layer we are having is the clay. After that we are having this silty sand. After silt, that after we are having weathered sandstone and silt. After that we are having this sandstone. That means whenever there is a particular land, that particular land will be formed due to these weatherings and sedimentations, metamorphisms. All those conditions are act on a particular field itself. Due to those, the particle size will be finer whenever we are having the particular. I will show the. This is the total cross section. From this cross section we have to use this 1 and 2 3 4 5 and 6. These are the 6 different fields. In those 6 different field, particular one is the normal static medium. After that we are having this silty medium. After that silty we are having this weathered sandstone, likely silt, sand and clay. All are located. Why? Because normally in the parent state, that means whenever the total earth is formed, there is no different mediums. After the mediums are formed, likely wind medium, water and other mechanical mediums which are flowing on a normal pulp in the earth levels, there will be some amount of erosion will takes place from one place to another place. That means eroding, depositing and other kinds of transmissions. All those materials are formed. Erosion takes place in the erosion material will be carried by some amount of wind and some kinds of water. all those are carriers of these materials along with their traveling, so that different forms of the layers are observed here: sandstone, silt, weathered stone. Particularly in all those stones we are having different stones, we need to construct this water table for a particular depth whenever we are having this groundwater level. Particularly it is a deep well, that means we need to excavate for a particular large depth to counter the water. This is also submersible pumps we are using here for encountering a water with a higher depths. In the top of the level we are having these vacuum heads. That means vacuum heads are normally used to maintain a huge amount of pressure to extract the water at a deeper depths. If there is no vacuum heads, means automatically, because of their higher depths, water will not come to the top level. If there is a vacuum head, automatically there will be some amount of pressure was maintaining on the inner side of the pipe, so that automatically water will rising easily. This is the main cause of keeping this vacuum header in submersible pumps. In the normal pumps at lower depths we are not using these vacuum headers. Particularly in a larger depth pipes we are using this. This is a deep wells with auxiliary vacuum system. Next one, what is the buoyancy effects on the ground surface? These buoyancy effects, we are having a smaller introduction on this fluid mechanics, buoyancy layers and others like. What is this buoyancy layer? Whenever there is a water structure, that means water medium on a particular soil strata, there will be a force. Those forces are simply these buoyancy forces. The total structure soil pressure, that means the structural bearing pressure, in terms of foundation we are having, the foundation has to distribute the stresses coming from the structure in terms of loads. Likely we are having different loads on the particular structure. While we are moving, some amount of load will be occurred on the particular structure. Those loads will be deposited to the foundation, to the ground level, by using this structural bearing pressure. Likely those structural bearing pressure will have to a particular force on the structure, so that the particular force will be transferred to the soil by using different transferring mechanisms. Like we are having, I will show with the diagrams. Though normally this is the structural force, this force will be dissipated into the earth level in a different layers. Okay, if it is not dissipated like this, if we dissipated in a single point, that means single point, automatically there may be penetration of the particular foundation. The force will be transferred in a parabolic pattern, so that the force is transferring automatically. There may be some amount of extra forces applying on the particular fields. Those are called uplifting pressure. Due to this uplifting pressure, the total structure will have to retain up to particular level. After the uplifting force is very high, means the total structure having a tendency, likely, that means the total structure having a tendency, like, due to this uplifting forces. Okay, this is the total structure. Normally due to the uplifting forces, one side of the structure will be uplift from the ground level due to excessive forces and stresses on a particular level. Those uplifting pressure is mainly caused due to this buoyancy effect and water pressures. Normally these forces are negligible for smaller structures. If the structural weight is very high, automatically this buoyancy effects and uplifting pressures are very high onto the structure, depending upon their weights and others. Likely for different structures we are having a different materials we are using. Normally for a high rise structures and tall structures we are using less quantity of materials. Simply we are using these glasses and other alloys, like we are partition walls and others, we are using normally alloys and other low density materials to decrease the total structural weight. This is the importance of the particular structures and their weights. This is the recharge of groundwater to prevent the settlement. original groundwater table we are having. After that, the groundwater table will be recharging. This is the structure we need to understand. Groundwater table with recharge, groundwater table without recharge. That means with recharge means the water is floating onto the particular level. If it flows above the excessive levels means automatically there may be a chance of this occurring buoyancy forces. If the groundwater table is very much low means automatically there may be a huge amount of void. That means all those portion will have a void, so that if there is void, automatically there may be a sinking of the foundation. We need to control in both ways. If the water table is very high, it also affects the structure. If the groundwater level is very low, it also affects the structure. We need to maintain a proper condition by decreasing the particular dewatering table according to the condition of the water, so that these dewatering well points are very much useful to us for maintaining a sustainable structure without any cracks and others. Normally these are observing in a particular dams and others. Why? Because those dams are closely associated with these water structures. Normally our buildings are not having this water plenty quantity. Why? Because we are constructing a particular structures on the water free grounds, so that we are not having to use these techniques. Whenever we are constructing a huge amount of dams and others, wherever there is a huge quantity of water, so that definitely we need to have these techniques employed in the particular fields itself, and we need to observe what is the groundwater level, what is the rise of groundwater level, what is the fall of groundwater level, is there any effects associated with the particular fields and groundwaters. All those will be taken.